right, well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Contractor USA show. I am here today with Robert Roth, also known as the Maestro. So where'd you get Maestro from? What's that all about?
Well, I played tennis in high school and college, and my favorite player was Roger Federer. And as you know, he just recently retired at 40-something years old, which is kind of cool. But he was the maestro because he did everything perfect.
Oh, right.
He had the strokes, and he was like picture perfect, book perfect. So.
Okay, so when you were thinking about going into construction and kind of building your brand, you started to call yourself the Maestro because you want to do a great and fabulous job, or what was behind that?
Well, I'm diagnosed OCD, so I'm really meticulous, and I try and do everything perfect. And I try and do every job better than the last. And over 21 years now, after the first 5 or 6 years, I came up with the Maestro because I felt that really I didn't have much competition and stuff, to be honest with you. I've done this for 21 years.
Wow.
I worked for the Epoxy Garage guy, which is my brother's family business. I trained all those guys. They're my nephews and my cousins and stuff. Yeah. And before that, I would train somebody, and then they would work with me for a couple of years. You know how construction is.
Yeah.
You have an apprentice, and then they want to start their own thing. So I've actually trained a couple companies that are a competition now because they worked with me a couple of years and then started their own thing. But eventually, my nephews and everybody became, they got out of junior high and stuff, were old enough to work, and so we started the Epoxy Garage guy. Okay. Is all family. And then, recently, after the last 4 years, I wanted to start my own because my son works with me and my daughter works with me. So we have, I still work for the Epoxy Garage guy, but I'm starting my own business. I'm trying to branch out and separate myself.
Yeah. So what's the name of your business?
Advanced Epoxology.
Advanced
My wife
Epoxology.
came up with that.
I love it.
She got her master's degree in business, and she said, "You're not doing that anymore for your brother. We're going to start our own thing." And so she's my business partner, and it's just strictly family. I work with my son and my daughter.
So you do the outside, she does the inside stuff?
Yeah, she does the inside stuff.
Hey, that's a great partnership when someone has a partner that takes care of some of the business for them.
Well, it works for me, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's great.
She's pretty sharp.
And what are some of the kind of jobs that you predominantly do?
I try and specialize. My specialty is residential. I really enjoy meeting my customers. A lot of my customers, I end up being friends. I'm 5-star. I've never had a complaint after 21 years.
Wow.
I take a lot of pride in my work.
Yeah.
I use the best materials available. I give a lifetime warranty.
Wow, a lifetime. That's great.
Lifetime, yeah, you bet. After 6 years, if you call me, I'll be there and we'll
Okay, so there's two things I like already. You said, one, you're OCD. That means I'm going to get a really good job done. And number two, you give a lifetime guarantee. Why wouldn't anybody use you then? That's awesome.
I don't know. I don't really have money for marketing. I've helped establish the other business for the last 21 years, and it's probably like the number one business out there.
Wow.
But I basically, my jobs are all from referrals. And,
Okay. Well, this is the good thing is that you came to our school. You got your license through us. And how long ago was that?
Probably like 4 years ago.
Okay, so 4 years ago. And then I think we did your corporation, right? Advanced Epoxology.
It's hard to say that. Say that 3 times.
But what's interesting is because you're one of our students, you're part of our community, and I love that. And that's why we're doing the podcast. That's why you sent over your video footage of jobs, and we've been making you videos. And have we charged you anything for that video?
No,
because
you guys are outstanding.
We want to really bless you, man. We want to bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, going through your school and stuff, like I said, it was a blessing and quite informative, and I owe you a lot because you set me up, business-wise and stuff. You really enlightened me and let me know you were very informative of what the culture would be. Yeah. And so I felt prepared.
That's great. Well, you said you don't have a whole lot for marketing right now, But check this out, because I just found out today from my producer, when I look over there, I'm looking at my producer, he told me that just on YouTube alone, we have about 900, I think he said 67 hours of people watching me just last month alone. And that doesn't include when we put stuff on Spotify. This is just YouTube. That doesn't include when we put our programs on Vimeo. So you're going to be seen by a lot of people. And so, and that's kind of why we exist. We want to help you grow and expand. And the fact that you do such great work, when you sent over those pictures and we saw those, I'm like, wow, this guy does phenomenal
My
work.
favorite is when, I start the job and, some people are skeptical. They've had contractors before. Yeah. They've had, it's been hit and miss. But, I build the trust, and then I gain their confidence. Yeah. And then my favorite thing is when I show them after I've done the epoxy and chips. This is not even before I do the poly coat.
Okay.
When I see their jaws drop.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God. And that's what's kept me going. I don't have a lot of money for marketing, but most of my business is from referrals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And possibly repeats. Are you mostly doing garages, or what are other kinds of things?
I've done all kinds. I've done grow houses. I've done, hospitals, restaurants. I've done a lot of commercial stuff, pet stores. Okay. Because the materials I use are, California. They're USDA, okay. They meet all the, and the materials I use doesn't collect bacteria or anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Easy to clean. And so, I've done a lot of stuff. I try and steer away from the commercial stuff because I really do enjoy doing, a lot of the people that I've done have ended up being friends, and I still have in contact with. And
I love that, because you are an incredibly kind, nice guy, and so that I really appreciate it. So let me ask you this, just for a couple minutes, like usually when people go out and they're trying to grow their business, they're trying to do all this. And since we're talking about this online, why you? Like when you think of your business and if a person's getting a bid, and they're all great people, I got that, and they get 2 or 3 bids, why you? Why your business?
Well, I'm just a small family local business here out of Menifee, and I do every one personally. I don't send a crew out, I do it personally. I do it with my son and my daughter, and both my daughters, and they've kind of working with me and stuff. They've become almost as OCD as I am, and it's just a family pride thing. And a lot of times, I do neighbors, or I'll do a house close to my home, and then I'll get referrals from their neighbors and stuff, and that's what really makes me tick.
Okay, so your why to your client is your family. You're going to do a meticulous job because you got the OCD, which actually works in your favor, because you're very particular.
I'm a perfectionist.
You're a perfectionist, so you want it to look good, which is going to make pretty much every client happy. Now, okay, quick question: in that OCD meticulous, you still get your jobs done on time, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
And
good,
I
good.
stay in constant. I always stay in constant communication with the customers. I'm never late. If I say I'm going to be there at 11. I'm there at 11.
Nice.
So on and so forth. It's just a thing. I have a lot of integrity, and
that's good. I notice, and there's a lot of great big businesses. There's a lot of great larger companies around America. But what I do appreciate too is just that American family-owned business that it's you, your boy, your girls, right? And you guys do that together.
It's the American dream, but boy, I tell you, it's tough. It's not easy,
Okay. So for all those out there, you don't have to say names or anything like that. So some positives and challenges working with family.
Well, working with family, you don't know whether to give them a hug or throw a rock at them. So, that's, I don't know what else to say about that. But, and then most of the time I think I'm in charge, but I'm not, so, but really we don't, there's no arguments, there's no nothing, because we all have the same goal. Most of the time when we come to a job, we don't even talk.
Yeah.
It's like little robots. Done. We just know exactly where to go. Everybody knows their spot, so.
But there's something to be said about the fact that your kids work with you, because Most kids, they just want to bounce, go do their own thing, get away from their parents. And the fact that yours want to work with you, that speaks huge volumes.
That's tough. Sometimes they got to get away from the video games.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of them. I really am. And I feel very fortunate to be able to work with my kids because we're not really here for long. And the only legacy you have really is your family and the people that you leave behind that love you.
Yeah.
So that's important to me.
Yeah.
It really is.
So with your business, is there kind of thinking about family, like an exit strategy, like a legacy? Like, do you think your kids are going to take over your business and run with it?
I'm grooming my son, Travis, right now. I'm helping him. He'll probably have his contractor's license through you.
Nice. I love it. Yes.
Within this next year and stuff, because I'm not getting any younger. And I've been doing this for 21 years. And, I have the confidence in him to where he's like, he can do them. That's
great.
To my standards. And so I'm hoping to actually retire in the next few years or
that'd be great.
Whatever that is like.
Yeah. And if your son is anything like you, very personable, very kind, loves to just give a great product to the client, takes care of the client, there's no reason why you can't just completely just take off. Maybe you'll be able to even take it to another level. You don't know.
I'm hoping so.
With the advancement of technology and also coming on this podcast, us doing a little bit of marketing for you, you're going to get some good stuff. So
that'd be excited. Great, because that's all I have is, you leave as a father, you leave your family, your knowledge and your experiences, and experience is the fruit from the tree of errors, so you learn, you move forward, and I'm hoping that my son will take
that's beautiful. A legacy is not just money. People think leaving a legacy, I'm going to leave my house, my money, and that's cool that you're able to potentially leave that stuff in your business, but you're leaving skill, training, a father and son relationship that is good, that works together. Man, there's nothing more beautiful than that. My son, we were driving through Starbucks. It was about 8 months ago, and I said, son, because we have a pretty good relationship. Him and I are like almost best friends for the most part. Obviously, there's an age gap, of course, but he goes, Dad, I love all the things you've taught me, and I love, seeing you go out and work all those years when I was little. He said, but the thing that really affected me the most is when you come home from work and you would just come in the room, grab the other video game console, and just play a half hour with me. And he's like, those are my favorite times of my whole life. And he started to get a little teary-eyed. And for my boy, when he's 31 years old, and he's like, that's what I cherish, that you spent that time with me. And the fact he gets to work with you and that's great. So good job, man. Good job being a good dad and passing on those skills. So that brings me to the next thing, and that is, so you give a great guarantee. It's basically a lifetime guarantee. You're going to take care of your client. You're getting referrals. You're getting repeats. What's the future of advanced epoxology? Like if you could see 5 years, 10 years ahead, what does that look like for you?
I've thought about it, and I don't know. For me, it would just be being able to, possibly book the jobs and still be a part of it, but watch my son take the reins and, have his own crews and take off with it. And that's basically, that's all I have to give, for my family really is to teach them the skills, like you said, and give them a trade. Make sure that that's their passion, and they really like it, and that's what they want to do, and to go forward and to do their thing. I really enjoy what I do.
That's great.
I enjoy my customers, and I've maintained a lot of relationships with them as far as friendships go. And I've done some families where I've done the daughter, and then their kids. I've done generations of garages for some families, and it's 2 or 3 for certain families, and so it works out great.
If you say this podcast takes off and people start calling you guys, which we're going to put all your data and information there, is your team, your son and your girls, are they able to handle some jobs on their own?
Yeah, in fact, I'm working. I'm there I basically go to every single job.
Yeah.
But they'll go and they'll do the final touch, like we do the prep and we do the chip and epoxy. I do, but my son can chip and he can do the epoxies.
Great.
But they'll go and do, if we have 2 jobs, I'll start them with them, and then they'll go and finish them. And often when I was recently in the hospital, they finished the jobs on their own and stuff. They completely took the reins.
Yeah.
And it was nice because I got to lay back and I was convalescing, but they got it all done. They sent me pictures.
Wow.
I got great reviews from the customers, and I'm really proud of them. Yeah.
So the audience didn't know this. We were talking about this earlier, but basically a few weeks ago, you had a stroke, a little mini stroke, right?
Yeah, I did.
And praise God, you're good. You're standing. You're here. Your kids took over the business. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, I was so proud of them. Yeah.
And so the moral of that story is, don't stress.
It's tough to do with the world the way it is today. But
yeah. Sometimes you just got to take a minute, breathe in your nose.
And I'm super OCD, so I don't really like doing it, having other people do my stuff.
Yeah.
But I was really, it was lightning for me.
Hey, this is a good lesson, right?
Yeah, it was.
And your kids got it done, and they did a good job. So
awesome.
Maybe this is the transitional moment where jobs start coming in. You start doing more of the internal stuff. Your kids can go out. They could take care of the work. They're doing it at your quality. Okay, so they finished a project while you were gone. Did you go see it?
3 projects.
Did you go see it afterwards?
Yeah.
How was their work?
It was awesome.
Man.
I'm really proud.
That's great.
I'm proud dad, yeah.
That's good. Okay, so now let me ask you a couple questions. So you get all these clients, they find you, they call you, however they find you, whether it's social media or word of mouth. How do you keep a database of your clients so that you can always reach out to them again? Do you have a CRM?
I don't know CRM, but I do follow-ups.
Okay.
In fact, when I every single job I do, I'll follow up like a week or 2 after.
Text or emails or
text.
what?
I do mostly text because I'm older and I'm not really computer literate.
Yeah.
So my wife takes care of most of that stuff. But
does she? She follows up too?
Oh yeah, for sure. She's my business partner.
Emails?
Yeah, and I always follow up on my customers and stuff. And I check. I'll check. It's been a week or 2 since I finished your job. Yeah. How is everything? And stuff. So. I do.
Okay.
I do every job.
Okay. Well, good. Well, ask your wife if she runs a CRM. If not, have her or you come in or one of your children come in. John will show you how to set that up, because the way you are able to track your clients, we have clients, thousands of them. I could literally click one button and send them all an email with one button.
That sounds great.
You know what I mean? And we can also, because we've integrated AI in our CRM. CRM stands for Client Retention Management Software, so it manages the people. And what we could do is we could literally preset and have AI send them out like, hey, every 3 days send them an email on this, and this, and then it just sends it out, and we don't have to worry about anything. It's just happening. It's meeting our clients' needs. It's saying, hey, we hope everything went well. Are you doing good? Is there anything you need from us? Thank you. We appreciate you. All that kind of stuff. So anyways, ask your wife, just because we want to be able to continue to help you. And that's really my point of these podcasts.
Because I'm not really strong on, on the computer and the online stuff. My wife is. Good. And I know she talks to you quite often. And we always come to you for help.
Yep. Perfect.
So,
because we want to be able to provide people value and watch you grow and scale. Our greatest passion is when you are thriving, like when you got your license and we celebrated, when you get your jobs and you start growing to the level of success that you want to be at. That actually feeds us, just like it feeds you.
That's what makes you tick, I'm sure.
It does. That's what makes me tick. Just like giving your job you're giving your client a good project. And you said this, you love when their jaw drops, right? When they see it. Yeah. It's a favorite part, right?
And it happens quite a bit.
Exactly. That's awesome. That's the way it should be. No, that's good. And your kids have that same kind of passion?
Yeah. They really get into it. My daughter, she's 18 and she's kind of an artist. She does, you'd be amazed at her drawings and this, that, and the other thing. So I'm thinking about, doing if somebody wants a team logo or something, so I'm kicking that around.
Specialty things that you can charge for, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to branch out. I want to start doing countertops and this, that, and everything.
Okay.
But my specialty is, residential garage floors.
Okay, that's the specialty.
But I've done, like I said, I've done a lot of commercial work.
Yeah.
But I don't really get the enjoyment out of that because it's just, you know what I mean? It's just like a warehouse or something like that. It's not something where they're in every day. They park the car in, or a lot of people turn them into like playrooms or offices. They turn the garages into all kinds of stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I see that. Well, let me ask you this. So before we talk about how you really got started in construction, we're going to hold that for a second. We're going to put that right here. Before you went into construction, I heard some things because we were having a conversation at the beginning that were kind of interesting. You actually did some acting in Japan when you were younger.
Hong Kong.
Oh, yeah, Hong Kong. Okay, Hong Kong.
I graduated from high school in Hong Kong. I lived in the Philippines for a year.
Okay.
I lived in Hong Kong for 6 years, and I lived in Singapore for a year.
Oh, okay.
My dad was head of Asia for Bank of America. He was the senior VP.
Really?
So we traveled quite a bit.
Wow.
I love traveling.
Yeah.
But I love being in front of a camera. I'm kind of a ham, and stuff. So when
all right, you got one dad joke then?
One dad joke? No, I don't have any dad jokes.
Okay, if it pops in your head, we'll say it.
I'll
all right, there you go.
But,
so you acted?
Yeah, I did that. I played tennis, in Hong Kong International School, and I played tennis for Cal State Fullerton.
Wow.
For a little while, and I graduated from Cal State Fullerton in 1984. Whoa. So it was like a long time ago.
Yeah. Are you still playing tennis?
No, I don't have time now.
Yeah,
stuff,
too busy
but I like
working.
Pickleball.
There you
I understand is the big deal now, and I haven't tried that yet, but that sounds like more my style at my age now. So
yeah. I see a lot of young people playing pickleball.
I've never tried it. I don't even know what it's all about, but I'm interested.
But hey, it'd keep you healthy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you getting some opportunities, take a break, go slower, de-stress, play some pickleball, let your kids take more of the outside stuff. That's great. Yeah. So you did that. And, oddly enough, you also owned or ran restaurants.
I managed restaurants for 20-something years. I worked for Olive Garden and I worked for Bennigan's, which are one's Darden and the other one's Steak and Ale. They're both the two biggest restaurant companies, I think, in the world as far as dinner houses go.
Okay.
I got restaurant and bar manager of the year 1 year, and I got sales and bar manager of the year for Darden, which was Olive Garden. It was 2,500 stores worldwide. Wow. But, 12, 14-hour shifts every single holiday, every single weekend. It was rough on having family life.
Yeah.
And so I kind of decided that enough's enough. I want to start living more at home and spending more time with my family. So I switched and I worked for a best friend of mine that was a general contractor, a really good general contractor. And I worked with him for 4 years. And then my brother, he was a executive officer for Cox Communications, and he knew I had a construction background. At this point.
Okay, wait. So let me back up because I do want to answer that question, which is how you got in construction. So you were doing restaurants, and from there you quit and went into construction?
I went through a divorce.
Oh, okay.
Because of my hours.
So a low time in your life?
Yeah, so I bounced back with a friend that I met, and we ended up we're still best friends. I've known him for like 27 years.
Good. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, he got me into construction. We did kitchens and bathrooms and home remodeling, and I ended up really liking it.
Nice.
Because, again, you start a project, the customer sees the results, and you're proud of your work.
Yep.
I mean, you start with nothing, and you end up with something really nice, and it just makes you feel good inside.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. So, yeah.
No, that's perfect. I love that you say that because so many contractors, they're just in and out. They just want to make the cash, move on. And of course, we want to make money, right? We want to take care of our family and live well and have a nice life. But I love that you are passionate about the actual work that you do. You want to give a good product, and you want to be blown away by it as well and see the client blown away by it.
I have to sleep at night. And fortunately for me, the work that I do, I sleep pretty good. I have to pat myself on the back sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, when the work we do is just like 3 of us and stuff. And then the only people who really see are the customers and then the neighbors and stuff. So, yeah, I that's what makes me tick.
Yeah. Now, what areas do you work in, by the way?
I work in, I'm out of Menifee. So I work in Menifee. I try and do Winchester, Wildemar, Temecula, Murrieta, Corona. I'm trying to focus because those are closer to my home. Yeah. But I was in Ladera Ranch today. Okay. So I'm all over the place. San Bernardino, Orange County, Chula Vista, Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga. I'm everywhere. I'm like the Colonel. My face is all over the place.
So basically, Southern Cal, maybe try not to go maybe past L.A. or...
I don't go that far out.
Yeah, okay. All right. But if there's some work out there, you're going to go get it and get it done, and that's great. So what are some... Okay, so let's talk... what are a couple things that maybe you learned along the way, a lesson or two, maybe that you go, you know what, man, I'm not going to do that again. That kind of messed that up. Just learning lessons.
First 4 years, 21 years ago, were developing the system.
Yeah.
And then we went to the different manufacturers and trained, with them, and coming up with the right materials. Being able to warranty your work is important.
Yes.
So you want to come up with the right systems. You want to come up with the perfect materials, and you want. What I care about the most is my customers, the confidence in me, and even afterwards, the whole quality of everything is there for them, and they felt like they got a great deal. They felt like it's the best they could get, and that takes time, and it takes a lot of, it's trial and error first, error first. Even hiring people. They work for you for a couple of years, and they start, I've got 2 or 3 competitors of mine, I wish I hadn't trained them before, but, but at least I can recommend them because they do it right, because I know I taught them.
That's good.
That was the main thing.
So a couple of things you would say is when you got started, one of the struggles was not totally having the system, and so really working on a good system is a good thing to do, right? To get that organized. You go and you learn the system from usually, in my case, the manufacturer. I use LifeDeck materials. They've been around 61 years, 3 generations. The grandson runs the company. His name is Dave now. Okay.
I believe that entirely. I believe that they're the best materials available here.
Okay.
They started making epoxy for the, to meet the USDA, things here in California. So it's water-based, 100% solid. So I can give a lifetime warranty.
Wow.
And they're reputable. I mean, when I talk to customers, the first thing I tell them is you're going to talk to a bunch of people because people shop. Yeah. They're going to go down the Google list.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, always check out the contractor's license. Yeah. For 5 minutes, Google the contractor. How long has he been around? Yeah. Is he 5-star?
All that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then check out the materials. Find out what materials they're going to use.
Yeah.
Research that. Takes 5 minutes. Okay. And
so that's 3. That's 3. Let's touch on a little bit more. There's 3 pieces of advice for people picking a contractor. 1, check their 5 stars or how many stars they have. 2, look at some of the photos, right? Maybe check the quality of the work. And you said something else.
Make sure they're legit.
Make sure they're legit. Check their license, right? Yes, you got any more? That's 3. Any other things that you recommend?
Well, you want to check out the materials that they're using. I mean,
Yes, because there's some poor material out there, right?
Yeah, there's, if you go, I hate to say it. I don't want to say it.
You don't have to say a business name, but
there's, you could go to one of the 2 major home places to buy stuff, but they use the products. It peels up in 6 months.
Yeah.
So I've a large percentage of the ones I do are people that do it yourselfers that go to like one of these places to buy common I go to myself. Yeah. But I don't buy my materials there. But
that's interesting to note. So basically, what you would say to the clients and people listening here: look, if you're going to get an epoxy flooring, make sure you check the product, because there are so many people putting in inferior products that they're buying from big box stores. Right. And those inferior products peel within about 6 months.
You think you're saving money, but in the long run, it's going to mess you up.
And so then you provide a lifetime warranty. So what is the difference between some of the inferior products and the superior products that you offer? Do you know the difference, like in any of the chemical makeup or what?
Yeah, some products don't have the solids,
the proper hardeners.
So, they're kind of watered down, stuff like that. I'll say, okay, so if you go to, is it okay if I say
a big box store?
If you go to a big box store, they sell materials and stuff just like, like there's umpteen manufacturers of paints, and you want to get one that will cover it and that is durable.
Yeah,
for longevity.
So make sure that they get a lifetime warranty from anybody. If they, for some reason,
you definitely want to get a material where they at least have a 10-year warranty on their material.
Yeah, minimum definitely. 10-year. Okay. Yeah.
You don't want to get something that is just going to cost you more money in the long run. Because once you do it, to fix it, then you might have to have it ground down. Yeah. That's like $1.75 a square foot. Oh, wow. And then you got to start all over again. You're not happy. And so sometimes going the less expensive route isn't the best route.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we got 4 things there, which is really good quality information for our clients, or for your clients, or for people to know. What about, would you suggest, like, hey, maybe even ask the contractor, do you got 2 or 3 clients they can call? I used to actually have people do that.
I've done that. Like, I'll say, for example, in the Oasis, it's a 55 or year older gated community. I've done homes there where, people want to get theirs done, but they don't know the neighbor, where I've already done one. Yeah. And I enjoy that because it's real close to where I live, so it makes it easy for me. But I'll tell them, this is Mary, for example. She lives in your neighborhood, a couple blocks away. Here's her address. Yeah. I called her. I told her that you'd like to see some of my work. And I've done that many, many times. Okay. Canyon Lake's the same thing. Yeah, hopefully I want to become the king of Canyon Lake.
The king of Canyon Lake.
I've done so many there that now, and that's a little tight community. They have their own little newsletters and stuff. So in that case, the word gets around,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can go both ways too. If you don't do a good job, it can, fortunately, in my case, it can hurt you. I've been okay.
You've been doing good. Out of curiosity, how long would the average garage take you to do?
A newer garage it's a 2-day process. I go in and I'll prep it. Prep includes cleaning it out, etching it. I fill in any little cracks. I don't fix the cracks because we live in California.
Sure, earthquake.
Any little divots, holes and stuff. I do the stem walls, which is the curb that goes around your garage. If it's an older home, I do the pole. If you have a pole in front of your water heater, I do that too. That's kind of my signature thing. Nice. So everything matches. In an older garage, it's a little bit more intense as far as the prep goes. If you have built-in oil or set grease and stuff like that, water damage, a previous coating, stuff like that, then it's a 3-day process.
Affect the grip?
Yeah, it does. You have to, if it's to the point where, it's really in there and stuff, then I'll subcontract out. It has to be ground.
Oh, it has to be ground out.
Because you have to get nothing, nothing sticks to grease. So
there's probably contractors that don't bother with that. They just blow and go. They just throw it out there.
There's a lot out there now. I mean,
cheat the client.
Last time I think I counted at my competition, I think there was 36 just locally. Wow. And my wife, she's kind of on things, so she'll check them out. Okay. She'll check them, see if they're have a contractor's license.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, in my brother's case, he found a contractor that was using his pictures and his contractor's license number.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's competitive. It's a very highly competitive business, just like anything else. Yeah. And
And by the way, anybody ever want to check out someone's contractor's license, they can either reach out to our contractor license school, or you can go to the cslb.ca.gov, type in the person's license number and make sure they are who they say they are, because all that license data is on there. And I think that's important because you said there are people that are using other people's licenses. They just use the number and steal it basically and declare who they think they pretend to be.
And it leaves a bad taste for the people. You know, I've gone to many, many places where the people looked at me like I was a crook right at the get-go.
They're analyzing, are you who you are?
And they've been burnt before.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, I'll tell them, well, look, you can look at this, or I can send you 1,000 pictures.
Sure.
You can Google me. You can check out my Yelp reviews.
Okay.
5-star.
Great. Perfect.
AAA accredited.
There
blah,
you
blah,
go.
blah.
I love it. So let's go back to the beginning. You were saying when it comes to it, first you clean out the garage, you etch it. What exactly is etching?
Etching is you want to take off the top layer. I mean, you know what I mean?
Does that not remove the grease?
Sometimes I'll sand it by hand.
Okay, but that doesn't remove the grease enough if there's bad grease?
It should remove the grease, unless it's to the point where, you know, some people work on vintage cars in their garage, and it's just like a dealership.
Gotcha.
And then it needs to be ground. But for the most part, I clean it.
Etch it.
Yeah, if I give a lifetime warranty, so you know I want to do it right the first time. So some garages are more intense than others. Some are 2-day jobs. Some are 3-day jobs.
Okay, so you pour it after you've cleaned it, prepped it, all that kind of stuff, and oils removed, everything. You pour the chemicals on it, right? I don't even know what kind of chemicals, and how long does that take to dry?
Let's say theoretically it's a 2-day process. If I start on Monday, I clean it out, prep it. I'll do the epoxy and chips that day. Tuesday, I come back, put the poly clear coat on, which really makes it pop.
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday, you can walk on it. Thursday, you can move stuff in on it.
Wow.
And Sunday, you can park in there.
Nice. So basically 5 to 6 days and the whole project's
Unless
done.
it's a little bit more intense. Like I have to subcontract out to have it ground. It'll be a 4-day job.
Okay.
If it's a little bit older garage, like 5 to 10 years, the cement could look clean to the naked eye, but it's absorbed a lot of oils. It's absorbed a lot of dust. This, that, the other thing. I use a moisture barrier vapor seal. And what that does is after I prep it, it goes on like syrup. On a 2-day job on a new car, on a new garage, I use a primer bonding agent.
Okay.
But on a little bit older, I use the moisture vapor seal. It's a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, like I said, I give a lifetime warranty.
Gotcha.
It goes on thick. It puts a hard shell on your floor, which is a great easel to put on the epoxy and chips, and it pretty much seals whatever's there. It seals it, and it's ready to go. It becomes a brand new floor. Basically.
Okay. So what kind of advice would you give people out there? Well, I guess we kind of talked about that, right? Like when it comes to checking the license and all that kind of stuff. Let's ask this question, because you did cover that. What's one of the favorite jobs that you have done? Anything cool or special, or maybe you don't have to say a famous person.
I've done some celebrity garages. I mean, I think my favorite one of my favorite ones was Huey Lewis.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool. And then we'll see sometimes, like today I was in Ladera Ranch, and it had to be like a $3 or $4 million house.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And so I sent the guy pictures when I finished, and he was, like I said, oh, great job. It looks amazing. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Meeting people.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I love doing, I've done garages and really expensive things. And I've actually seen them, like like my wife, she watches 90 Day Fiance and all this stuff. And they'll show, like Orange County, they'll show homes.
Yes.
She's seen a couple times on her shows.
Oh, man.
Where they're in the house and they'll show the garage.
Boom.
I did that.
Nice.
You know, so it's cool. Yeah.
Man, you got to get links and send us out. Look at this video. We did that. That's great. Now, a lot of people I don't think know who Huey Lewis and the News are,
Well,
right?
yeah, I'm a little old school. So.
Yeah. So for all those young people, you know, 40s and under, Google Huey Lewis and the News. Great band, right? Yeah, some cool music.
So, yeah, we've done some athletes,
Okay.
you know, stuff like that. But every single one for me, it doesn't matter if it's my neighbor,
Yeah.
you know, a couple blocks away. They're all the same to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, it's the feeling that I get when they look at it and they know, and they're looking at the garage and they're like, "Wow, this is my garage."
Yeah.
That's what
That's
makes
the best,
me tick.
man.
Yeah,
That's the best.
I go home and I wear a smile. So.
Yeah. Now, talk to me about this, just because, you know, we provide the material, we provide videos, we provide practice tests, you know, we walk you through the application process. How was that for you using us, you know?
Well, you've been a blessing for me because this is my first business.
Yeah.
I didn't own a business before this, and I just have the skill.
Yeah.
Again, my wife, she's the one with the master's in business, so you know, I just kind of put it in her hands, and then she kind of puts it in your hands.
All right.
So you know, she's more, and the two of us, we have the utmost confidence in you, and you, I mean, like I said, like you said, I attended your school. You've been nothing but helpful. Awesome. And tried to guide me, and so you know,
I love it.
That's where it's at. Yeah,
I love it.
And that's what makes you tick.
It does. It does. It really does. We love being a part of your guys' life. So, you know, any last words to anybody or anything like that before we wrap this up? I love Advanced Epoxology, and they could find you at that website, right?
Right. Advanced Epoxology.
Epoxology. And my producer's going to put all your information there so people could find you. And yeah, I think the good news is a lot of people don't know this. And I think because I've talked about it in school, I'm a private equity fund manager, so I buy apartment complexes, as you could see here, and things like that. And we buy houses and all that kind of stuff. So now when we buy houses, we want to do our garages. Bro, we know where to go. Exactly.
Sounds great.
Yep, I love it.
My advice to anybody is whatever you're doing in your house, whether you're doing a kitchen, a bathroom, garage floor, your patio or whatever, just, you know, take the time to find the right contractor and make sure that they're quality, you know, and that you know what you're getting into from the get-go. I would always I always research everything I do.
Oh, okay.
And before I make a big decision, I always sleep on it, and
That's good.
So that would be my advice to anybody out there. But if you're looking to get your garage floor done, I'm ready.
That's awesome. I love it. Oh, by the way, guess who I saw today? Everybody I looked at. See, you didn't have a dad joke, so I had to give one.
I don't know. Dad joke.
Oh, man.
You know, hey, dads, that's the hardest job there is, I think.
It's one of them, definitely. I love it. I love that you're a good dad, got a good business going. We're definitely going to look to you when we do our epoxy floorings for our garages. I appreciate you being a part of our system, and you know, we look forward to just continuing on this community of construction. And yeah, thanks, man. We love it. And so that's it.
I appreciate you too.